Now let's see the muscles of the tongue. The tongue is divided into two symmetrical halves by a median fibrous septum, which is somewhere present here. And when we take a section of it, we will find the figure like this. And this median fibrous septum will divide the tongue into two symmetrical halves, within which on each side the intrinsic group of muscle as well as the extrinsic group of muscles are attached. Extrinsic group of muscles are those muscles which are getting origin from outside the tongue and inserted inside the tongue, and they are responsible for the alteration of the position of the tongue. While the intrinsic group of muscles are those muscles which are getting origin within the tongue and inserted also within the tongue. And this group of muscles, they are responsible for alteration in the shape of the tongue. Now let's see the extrinsic group of muscles. This extrinsic group of muscles contain five pairs of the muscles. This include genioglossus, hyoglossus, chondroglossus, styloglossus, and palatoglossus. Let's see the genioglossus muscle first. This genioglossus muscle, it is a fan-shaped muscle which is getting origin from the upper genial tubercle of the symphysis menti of mandible. And the lowest fiber, they are getting inserted over this upper part of the body of the hyoid bone. The middle fibers, they will pass backward and passes behind this hyoglossus muscle, and it is continuous with the middle constrictor of the pharynx, while the upper fibers, they turn upward and forward and going to reach up to the tip of the tongue to the root of the tongue. And this muscle, it is responsible for the protrusion of the tongue when it get contract, and this protrusion will lead to the prevention of the falling of the tongue to the oropharyngeal side, to the posterior side. So that's why this genioglossus muscle, it is also called as safety muscle of the tongue. Now let's see the hyoglossus muscle, and this muscle, as the name suggests, it is going to arise from the hyoid bone and insert over the tongue. So this muscle is the hyoglossus muscle. This hyoglossus muscle is a quadrilateral muscle and arises from the upper surface of the greater cornea of the hyoid bone as well as the some part of the body of the hyoid bone. The muscle passes upward and slightly forward and going to insert into the side of the tongue between the styloglossus muscle laterally, and on the medial side there is inferior longitudinal muscles of the tongue, which is one of the intrinsic muscle of the tongue. When the contraction of this muscle is there, it will lead to the depression of the both the sides of the tongue and makes the dorsal surface of the tongue convex. Now let's see the few important relations of the hyoglossus muscle. In this figure, we are able to see the important relations of the hyoglossus muscle. So here, this muscle, it is the hyoglossus muscle, and this structures which are passes superficial to the hyoglossus muscle, they are actually lateral to the hyoglossus muscle, and these muscles include this mylohyoid muscle. Between the mylohyoid muscle and hyoglossus muscle, few important structures are also present, and these structures include the mucous membrane of the side of the tongue, styloglossus muscle, lingual nerve. So this nerve is a lingual nerve, submandibular ganglion, which is attached with the two roots with the lingual nerve. Then the deep part of the submandibular gland along with its duct, this hypoglossal nerve, and suprahyoid part of the lingual artery, which is somewhere present here. Here, the lingual nerve, it crosses the duct of the submandibular gland from laterally and from below, and then it passes upward from medial side to supply the tongue. So this lingual nerve make a loop around the submandibular salivary duct. Now let's see the deep relations or the medial relations of the hyoglossus muscle. So this nerve, it is the glossopharyngeal nerve, that is the ninth cranial nerve, which is going to supply this muscle, and that is the stylopharyngeus muscle. And here this muscle, it is the middle constrictor of the pharynx, so it also lies medial to the hyoglossus muscle. Look at this artery. This is the lingual artery. This lingual artery is divided into three parts by this hyoglossus muscle into a part before passes medial to the muscle, that is the first part. The part of the lingual artery passes medial to the hyoglossus muscle, that is the second part, and the part of the artery which is passes from the anterior border of the hyoglossus muscle, that is the third part. So the second part of the lingual artery, it lies in the medial relation of the hyoglossus muscle. Now let's see the chondroglossus muscle. Here the chondroglossus muscle, it is the only detached part of the hyoglossus muscle which is attached to the side of the tongue, and this detached portion of the hyoglossus muscle, it is called as a chondroglossus muscle, and this muscle getting origin from the lesser cornea of the hyoid bone as well as some part of the body of the hyoid bone, and is inserted to the side of the tongue, and when this muscle get contract, it will lead to the depression of the side of the tongue. Now let's see the styloglossus muscle. So this is the styloid process of the base of the skull, and this is the styloglossus muscle. So as the name suggests, it is going to arise from the styloid process and going to insert over the side of the tongue. It passes downward and forward and reach up to the side of the tongue, and this oblique fiber interdigited with this hyoglossus muscle. When this styloglossus muscle contract, it will lead to the backward movement and upward movement of the tongue, and it is antagonist to the action of this genioglossus muscle. The palatoglossus muscle, it takes origin from the undersurface of the palatine aponeurosis, passes downward and forward in front of the tonsillar fossa, under cover of the palatoglossal arch, and going to insert into the side of the tongue. And the most of the fibers of this palatoglossus muscle are continuous with the transverse muscle of the tongue. When this muscle get contracts, it elevates the base of the tongue and narrows the oropharyngeal isthmus. Now let's see the intrinsic muscles of the tongue. It consists of four pairs of muscles. Out of them, the superior longitudinal muscle, which is lies just beneath the mucous membrane of the tongue, and both the sided muscles, they arises from the posterior part of the median fibrous septum. So this is the posterior part of the median fibrous septum somewhere here, and from on the both the side this muscle get origin, and from here the muscle passes forward and laterally and going to insert in the sides of the tongue like this. So these muscles get diverged from each other. When this muscle get contract, it will lead to the shortening of the length of the tongue, and it is also responsible for making the dorsal surface of the tongue more concave on both the sides. So here in this figure, this is the coronal section of the tongue. We can see this is the superior longitudinal muscle of the tongue on both the sides. When we see the inferior longitudinal muscle, it also lies beneath the mucous membrane of the under surface of the tongue and deep to the insertion of the hyoglossus muscle, as we have already discussed. Both the muscles arises from the posterior part of the side of the tongue, somewhere here, and these muscles get converged with each other and going to insert into the anterior part of the median fibrous septum. When this muscle get contract, it will lead to the shortening of the tongue as well as make the dorsal surface more convex because it is situated towards the inferior surface of the tongue. And here this is the inferior longitudinal muscle of the tongue. Now when we see the verticalis linguli muscle, we have to see this muscle into the coronal section of the tongue, and these muscles are getting origin from the lamina propria of the dorsum of the tongue. So from somewhere here, this muscle is going to arise from both the sides, and these muscles, after passing through the genioglossus muscle, they passes downward and attach to the side of the tongue. So when this muscle get contract, it increases the width of the tongue from both the sides as well as it makes the dorsal surface concave from side to side. And when we see the last intrinsic muscle of the tongue, that is the transversus linguli muscle, it is going to arise from the side of the median fibrous septum, and after getting origin from this median fibrous septum, it runs along with the genioglossus muscle and going to insert over the side of the tongue. When this muscle get contract, it decreases the width of the tongue and increases the length of the tongue. So when we observe these intrinsic muscles of the tongue, we can find that this inferior longitudinal muscle, it is the only muscle out of the four intrinsic muscles which is going to insert nearer to the median fibrous septum, while all the remaining three muscles, they are getting insert away from the median fibrous septum.